Hello, good evening, everyone. So we can see that people is joining the webinar. So glad to see you here again. So, welcome and good evening to everyone. As you already know, today we are talking about the tips that you have to keep in mind if you are thinking to move to the Basque Country. So today I am pleased to introduce you my colleague Carmen, that you can see on my left hand. She is the head of Relocation and Viva's Dual Career Center in Bizkaia Talent. And afterwards, I will provide the chance to take the floor. So first of all, I wanted to share you the menu for today. So as you can see, first we're gonna start meeting each other. We would like to learn more about your needs and your expectations, and for that we're gonna use a tool that maybe it's a bit familiar for some of you, which is called Slido, but don't worry, because afterwards we're gonna provide the password and everything so you can join it. Once we have identified which are your needs, we're gonna answer them through the service, which is provided by Carmen, relocation service, Viva's Dual Career Center, and the activities that we provide for your integration. And we're gonna have like around 30 minutes to answer to your questions. So don't forget, please, on your right hand, you're gonna find the chat where you can share your questions with us. So Carmen, whatever you want, you can start.
Hi, Arratsaldeon, buenas tardes, good evening already. I mean, how are you? Okay, let's meet all of us. As Mireia has already explained to you, we are going to split this webinar in some parts, but right now I would like to share with all of you what we know about you. We have been looking at the participants, the audience, and we see that unfortunately there are more men than more male than females. Most of you are from Europe. I mean, originally that you were born in a European country, and most of you as well are living in a European country. But let's go ahead. Now we would like to know something about all of you. We want to know your motivations, we want to know your worries or your expectations about coming to the Basque Country or moving to the Basque Country. So we are going to use the Slido, as you can say, and you have the hashtag Como Volver. I'm going to show you some questions and you're going to answer them. So you have the code there, some minutes or well, some seconds to use it. Join up slido.com and use the hashtag Como Volver. Hang on a minute. Okay, I suppose that you are already here. So answer, please. Are you considering moving to the Basque Country? Yes, within 6 months. Yes, within 12 months. Yes, within 1-3 years. Yes, in a long term. Oh no, I'm not thinking. I don't know. We would like to know something about why you are joining this webinar, or if you are quite interested in coming. 26 people answering already. Some more seconds because you were lots of participants. Perhaps it's not an easy question. I mean, wow, 31 people answering already. Okay, the ones who have answered, okay, oh, it's changing still. Well, we can see more or less, you haven't finished, but well, more or less, yeah, most of you are thinking, or you are at least considering coming in 1-3 years. So I suppose because of our previous expertise that most of you are working and happy in your own country, but why not? You want to come back or you want to come to the Basque Country. So yes, 45% of you are considering, at least you are considering coming to the Basque region. Not many, I mean 11, yeah, it's still changing, but okay. So yes, most of you, I mean, almost 50% because it's 47% plus and 80. Well, no, it's changing all the time. Let's wait for some seconds, Mireia.
Yeah, maybe a couple of seconds, and I think we can see that mainly 1 or 3 years we're gonna have most of them back in the Basque Country.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so more or less we have an idea that at least most of you are considering, because it's only a low percentage who is saying that you don't have an idea. I mean, you haven't the foggiest idea about coming or not. Shall we go for the next question? You can still answer if you like. What topics worry you before moving? I mean, you can write one word, a sentence, 2 words, lots of them. Think about your worries, I mean, or your expectations, because sometimes, well, I'm not going to give you clues or ideas about it because we wanted to know what issues worry you. It can be any. It's something that we haven't mentioned, but Mireia and I, we have been abroad. We have lived, studied, and worked abroad. So we understand when you are abroad or you are moving to another country, that sometimes you have to face different expectations and you are worried about lots of things, not only at the professional way, but also the personal part. That's quite important because once you have accepted a job offer, well, okay, fine, I go to a new project, I go to a company, I go to a research center or whatever, but what else?
We already have Carmen 35 questions answered. Sorry, maybe we can check them out. What do you think?
Yeah, because we can start talking about them. Wow, yeah, language. Wow, language, salary, taxes, work-life balance. Still, yes, salary, language, work-life balance. Well, but it's incredible. Stability, salary, social life, money, working conditions, residency, pay more taxes, nice job and job conditions, finding a satisfactory, tax while working remotely from a UK employer. Wow, we will talk about that later on. Still more, quite interesting. Well, salary. You think you are going to have a lower money or language? I don't know if it's Spanish or Basque. We will talk about that later on. It's quite interesting. Visa, well, don't worry about that. Work-life balance and residency, that everything is connected. I see people answering. Yeah, now salary, language. I think that it's the first one, salary, how much you're going to earn here. It depends. We will talk about that, but it depends on on your work, and depends on the type of organization and whatever. Hi, house well.
It's absolutely interesting.
Yeah,
I think we can go ahead because we have a few questions still for you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we have well in the past, that we will explain about that a bit later, about some of our services. Anyway, okay, yes. To what extent these issues worry you? We will see. Yeah, because it's a multiple. Yes, what I was saying is that we organized some Basque Talent conferences in European cities, and in fact we have seen some people who are living in the UK right now, so I say hello to them, some familiar names. And it is true that it doesn't matter what country we go, and even the people, I mean, in general terms, those are the common worries that any international professional have when they are moving. I don't know if all of you are in your own, if your own countries, but I suppose that most of you, because of the data that we have seen, you have to face new experiences, and well, it's not that you are afraid of, but uncertainty. It's something that we have to learn how to manage and how to face it.
let's check out the answers, Cameron.
14. Yeah, we will start soon. That's it. Yeah, wow. Okay, pensions. I don't know if we are going to have pensions in the future. Yeah, well, no, I'm joking. Sorry. Okay, that's about pensions. It's 5.9. Yeah, you are still young, and we will see. We will talk about that, because in Europe, for example, there are from the European Commission, there were some movements in order to unify this, or to have our own private pensions. But we will talk about that later on. It cares, but it's not the most, well, it's still moving. Okay, employment history report. What we say in Spanish, everything related to the social security, your work life report, employment history report, when you are moving, especially for those ones who have been living in different countries. Yeah, still moving. Well, still pensions and your employment report. El cómputo de, we say in Spanish, el cómputo de la vida laboral. Yes. So it's important, but not the key one. Work-life balance. Yeah. Normally, this, because you start talking about salary and taxes and blah, blah, blah. But then it is true that work-life balance is something that for you, it's important. So in fact, 25 partners work. 21% 8, 17. What? Okay, partners work or social integration. I don't know, because we couldn't see when you were when you registered if you were coming with your partner or not. But it is true that well, some people doesn't. I suppose that they don't have a partner, but and social integration. I mean, to integrate people, schooling in the sense of if you have children. I suppose that in this case, most of you do not have children, so it's not so important. Languages, the same, 27% that you don't, well, you're not so worried about that. Quality life, you are very worried about that. I can assure you that the Basque Country is a great place. So sometimes we say, what do we understand about quality life? Cultural shock. Wow, amazing. Not many people are worried about that. Interesting. Adaptation to labor and social customs. So you're worried about other things, but not to get involved in your labor atmosphere or environment in the company, and apart from that, the social customs of the Basque Country. Yes, well, this is related to what you were saying at the very beginning: salary, flexible scheduling, family conciliation. Yeah, this is perhaps in the whole, not only money. Not everything is money in life. And competent job offer according to experience and trajectory. I can assure you that in 4 or 5 years, that every time that I normally this is a workshop, and normally people this is something that care a lot about that, adapting to the work environment. Professional development, again, this is one of the topics. Continuous learning, 28%. Professional opportunities, 43%. Next one. Yes, something else important of personal possession. Import of personal possessions. I suppose that is the moving. I mean, when you're moving your stuff. Working in a multicultural environment, lack of opportunities, finding a decent work, well, a job without having a strong Spanish, Basque. I mean, I suppose that what you mean is that if you cannot speak fluent Spanish or Basque, to find a job according to your academy. And something else, I mean, most of you, I think that you know about Bizkaia Talent, but do you, all of you, I mean, do you know Bizkaia Talent services? Because some of you were not part of our Basque Talent network. So I suppose, I don't know, we will see. Yeah, well, 50-50. I mean, 55-45, but half more out. Well, so some of you didn't know about Bizkaia Talent services, or okay. Well, so you will know today. Yeah, interesting. So we will go back to the presentation about the Bizkaia Talent services. I would like to tell you, for those ones who don't know, that Bizkaia Talent is a regional non-profit association which was created to develop an ecosystem for capital, human capital, for talent, with extensive expertise and close ties to industry, academia, public bodies. And its main aim was or is to develop an integral territorial strategy of talent management. For that, because we are a facilitator, Mireia, please, can I see the presentation, please? Yeah, fine. So what I was saying, today we are going to focus on the relocation service, integration, social cultural activities, and the Basque dual career that we will explain later on. But apart from that, we have other services that if we are thinking of you, some of them are the job offers. Just by the way, Mireia is going to send you, to the link for those ones who are not registered in our platform, in our Basque Talent Network, because it is compulsory. You have to do it in order to receive all these services, to apply for job offers that Basque organizations post, listen to other webinars that we organize, and even to advise you. What I haven't mentioned is that all our services or programs are for free. And I always like to say that then if you come back, or you come to the Basque Country, if you move to the Basque Country to work, then you will pay it with your taxes because it's public. Most of it is public money, though we have private funding as well. So going to the point, focusing on today's topic, we are going to imagine that you have been offered a post. That you have you are happy with the project, or the salary, or the company that you have found, that you can do it through Bizkaia Talent or not, or because you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to start business with a startup or whatever. So it is important to have in mind your potential journey, not only at a professional way, but also a personal one. It is important that you contact us in the previous stage, in the pre-landing, in order to know where are you from, where are you coming from, when is your arrival, when are you coming, if you are coming on your own with your family, even if you're coming with you are moving with your pets. And any question or any worry or any expectation you have, you can always discuss with us. It is important again to say that we are a facilitator, and we are within and outside the system in the region. That we do not hire you directly, so we are between the company and you. And then when you land, you move, imagine that you move, this is a hypothesis. We can have face-to-face meetings. That's very important to develop our human, relationships, and we will start telling you about all those bureaucracy or administrative issues that you are supposed to do, because it's not only a question of being from a third country that you need an authorization, a work and a residence permit. That don't worry, because those ones, it's the company, the one who is supposed to ask for it. And another thing is the visa, that if you are from a third country and the company gets the authorization, then you have to go to the Spanish embassy in the country you are living in and ask for the visa to come into the Basque region. Okay, but then in any case, even if you are from a European country or you are from a third country, and even the Basque or Spanish people who are moving to, again, I mean, they are coming back, they have to do administrative issues. Everything related to the social security, because imagine some of you have never worked in the Basque region, not even in Spain. So, or because you have doubts about what about everything that I have been working for 3 years or 10 years in Germany or in France or in the UK or whatever, what happens at the end? We can talk about those things. The health system, how it works in the Basque region, if you have children, schools, family matters, accommodation. We have we belong to a program of a bank, a Kutxa Bank. It's the Bizkaia Talent home, that those apartments are for international professionals and researchers who are coming. You cannot be longer than 1 year, but it's a good place to start and then find a proper apartment or whatever. And of course, something very important, the integration, the activities, to meet other people, and even the Basque people who come back, they still miss that international environment. So we organize lots of sociocultural integration in order to meet other people from different sectors, from different nationalities, from different companies, and even Basque people or Spanish people who have come back. Always in a cross-cultural environment, and to foster your professional and your personal relationships through the networking. And of course, we can put you in contact with others. This is more or less, I have already mentioned, but you can see all of that. We advise you about any issue related to authorizations, visas, NIE, that it's the foreigner number that you need to work in Spain. The accommodation, I have already mentioned about that Bizkaia Talent home, and that we organize activities there too. And of course, we have lots of contacts with different real estate agencies that normally what we do is that we talk to you, we explain to you about the region, and we ask you where you would like to live or not, and then we put you in contact with real estate agencies. Health insurance, of course, depending on the place you are living. Imagine it's not the same living in Bilbao, living in Getxo, living in Santurtzi, or living in Marquina, and depending on the village or the city, you have to go to the city council to register the census, and then depending on that, it will a health center will correspond you. And well, your gynecologist, the pediatrician if you have kids, blah blah blah. Then the social security in terms of unemployment, contribution, retirement, or pensions. In fact, in April, I cannot, we can, well, probably on the 19th of April, we will have a person from the Social Security from Bizkaia to talk about all the topics that worry you about this topic. Schooling, of course, it is important to explain to you about our educational system, because we have our own contacts in the Basque government. We have international schools, we have semi-private, semi-public schools and public schools. But it is important to explain about that before coming. Then the taxes, of course, we have a special tax break for professionals, high qualified professionals. It's not for everybody. It's just for those people. It doesn't matter where you are from, but you are not supposed to have worked in Spain for longer than, no, you are not supposed to have worked in Spain for 6 years. in the last 6 years. So you can have lots of benefits. And we normally explain and advise and inform about the tax declaration that it, for example, now in April will start about the last year, and of course where to learn Spanish or Basque or whatever. That's in general terms, so don't worry, we start from the very beginning in the pre-landing. Even if you are not sure about a job offer and you are playing, you can always ask us about that. And something apart from that, it is important the dual career. And in fact, some of you have mentioned that probably imagine that you have your own couple and your partner doesn't find a job. Okay, but normally he or she, the partner, is a high qualified person. Okay, through this Basque Dual Career Center, we call it dual because it's a couple, and it's proof in statistics and everything in Europe. So normally what we do is to guide. I mean, we have, that's why it's very important to be registered in our platform, to see your curriculum vitae and everything. We have face-to-face meetings in order to guide you, to ask you about your partner's motivations or whatever, and job offers, of course, that that person can apply. I was going to say she because unfortunately there are more women than men, but anyway, entrepreneurship, we have some, if you see the picture on your right, there is on the left, there is a lady, she's a partner, her husband is working for an important engineer in Bilbao, and she wanted to work as a lawyer, and she had already recognized her university degree and everything, but apart from that, at the end, she decided to create her own project. She has her own business, and we supported her. This doesn't mean that Bizkaia Talent does everything. What it means is that we put her in contact with the proper people, okay, with the proper agents. Volunteer, that's important as well, because you can see there that we collaborate with other Basque associations, especially women associations, international women associations, related in order to meet other people. And sometimes in order to meet others and do networking, they like taking part. Training and mentoring, because sometimes they need, okay, I cannot find my project here, but I would like to improve or to learn or whatever, and some of them are doing a PhD or master's degree or other kind of qualifications, and of course networking that we organize, like in the picture above. It's in the Deusto University, and there are people from France, Italy, Croatia, Poland, Romania, and they are researchers, they are engineers, and linguists. They are all of them casualty, but most of them are from Argentina as well. And some of them are working, others moved their work trajectory because they couldn't find that, and we support them with that transformation, because sometimes they come with the kids and they need time. And finally, the activities, that's very, very important, that right now, because of the pandemic, we cannot organize offline meetups, but we do it online. And now we have a worldwide cuisine league. But in any way, we organize activities every 2 months, more or less, at the weekends, so anyone can come. It's the only service that probably you have to pay, because they are normally, as Basque, there are lunch or meals, or we take a bus or translators or whatever. always in a cross-cultural environment. It's important to mix up. Even if you have kids, you can come with your kids. If you don't have kids, without, whatever. And of course, the most important point is networking, fostering your professional and your personal relationships. And that's it. Questions. Time. We are in time.
Great,
Questions.
Carmen. Thank you for your presentation. Now we're gonna go ahead with your questions. I have some of them here. As I was telling you at the beginning of the webinar, in some of them we will need further information. So this means that the best thing to do in these cases is to write us to our email, and we're gonna be happy to answer them. The topics or issues, matters that could be interesting for all of you, we're gonna check them right now. Okay, so here there is a question. Are there tax advantages for individuals that worked there in the past? So I think it's someone who already worked in the Basque Country in the past,
okay.
And they want to know if there are any advantages.
Okay, I mean, we of course, I remind you again that we are not what we call the tax office, or we are not the Basque government, or we are facilitators, but we are in contact with them. I mean, that's very important to know, to let you know that we are in contact with those public bodies. But right now, if you have worked in the last, I mean, you are supposed not to have worked in the last 6 years. Correct me, I'm saying it by heart.
5 years actually.
5 years, and you can benefit from those tax advantages then for 6 years. Right now, it doesn't mean that it doesn't change, because in fact, Mireia is having some meetings with the tax office, because we are telling them, I mean, something important to know is that we are your voice, and we talk to the different public or administrations, the public bodies, in order to tell them about your worries, because as I said at the beginning, this is a strategy for attracting and retaining talent.
For those that you are interested in the tax rate, you can go to the Bizkaia Talent platform. You can get to the events, networking events, and there you can find the webinar that we did last year concerning the tax break with the tax office. So you can check the webinar. You have the documents, the presentation that Maite did in this case. So you have also the contact if you have any questions for them. So all that information you can find on this platform. Yeah. So here we have another one. So, hi, I'm living in the Basque Country since 1 year ago. I moved to here with my family as highly qualified professional. Now is my first time to do the tax declaration. The Bizkaia Talent, does Bizkaia Talent offer some help to date?
Well, no, because we cannot be experts in everything. Yes, but we have a document. We have a document, but we have already sent. If you are registered in our platform, in our network, you are supposed to receive it. In any way, if you are part of the, I mean, we are going to send you again. I don't know if it's like news, or we have been discussing this morning, because just to tell you that you have to write some things in a form about that you are a high qualified professional in order to receive those advantages. In any case, if you have any doubt, contact us.
We have all, as Carmen said, the documents are, you can find them in Bizkaia Talent platform, but if you cannot find them, do not hesitate to write us, okay? So here another question. Are there any differences between requesting visa or permit for the Basque Country and any other region of Spain?
Yes. Well, I mean, the authorization, the work, if we are talking about immigrant laws, is the Spanish laws. I mean, it's true that the Basque Country has their own laws, but in terms of immigration is exactly the same if you go to Barcelona, if you go to Seville, to Madrid, or to Bilbao. But yes, there is a difference between the authorization and visa. For example, if you are from a third country, if you are, for example, from Mexico, from the United States, or from South Africa, in order to work in Spain, you need a work and residence authorization. There are two laws in Spain. This is like another story, but it's the company, the one who applies for that authorization. We support, you don't see that, but it's Bizkaia Talent who is supporting and helping and guiding the company to do that. Once the company get that authorization, that of course the company is going to ask you for your passport and some documents. If you are out of Spain, it means you are not in Spain. In order to enter, you need a visa. It doesn't matter even if you are in France. That's something important. And one thing is, imagine that you are from Canada, you are living in France, and you can move because you have a Schengen visa, whatever. Because it's not the same, student, visitors, blah blah blah. We are talking about working. So for working in Spain or in the Basque Country, you need an authorization. That is, it's the company, the one who applies for it, and then you get your visa in the Spanish embassy of the country you are living in that moment. I think it's clear. If not, ask us.
Yeah. So next one, now that the UK has left the EU, what is the situation for pensions and import of possessions? Can we transfer our private pensions funds? What about the social security one? Do we have to pay import duties on our possessions? A lot of questions.
Wow. Okay. I suppose that I don't know what is going to happen because they are discussing that still. So even the European Commission with the UK, but that's going to be a very important question because until the 30th of December 2020, everything is like okay, yes. Another thing is if there is an agreement, because let me say that. Imagine that you have lived in France, you have lived in Germany, and at the end, you end up your work life in Bilbao. It's an example. So don't worry, because in the European Union, even Switzerland and the European area, I mean, Norway, Liechtenstein, and Iceland, they have an agreement. So automatically, when you retire, everything goes to the last place, well, the place you are living. Another thing is if you have worked in Australia, in Mexico, or in Chile, for example. If there is an agreement between Spain and Chile, for example, it's exactly the same. If not, you will receive that money, but in not the whole of it. Well, so I suppose that it will happen the same with the UK. I mean, that there will be an agreement, so that's not the problem. Another question was, well, if you are British, it is true that right now, you need an authorization for working in the Basque region. And what was the other question, Mireia?
Yeah, it was, and do we have to pay import duties on our possessions?
Okay, yes. frontier, the borders. Yes, yes. If you, for example, we are in the port. We're in Bilbao right now. The port. Yeah. If you are bringing your belongings, you have to talk to a company there, but then you have to talk about a company here. Normally, if it's like if you're bringing your belongings from the United States, for example. Now I'm with an example of that. I'm solving something. You have to contract to hire a company there, but then you have to. We normally put you in contact with someone from the port of Bilbao in order not to pay taxes or a lot of money, because if they are your own belongings, normally you don't pay a lot. But be careful with that. That's an important issue.
All right. Here we have a question related to some positions. I've seen online, especially in the sales sector, are self-employed roles. Is it quite common, and what would the tax process be? So if working as a freelance is something common in the past.
Well, if you are freelance, no problem. You're freelance. It's what we say in Spanish, for example, autónomo. I mean, it's you declare, and we can put you in contact with experts and even with the Social Security and Hacienda, because, for example, in Bizkaia, if you are a freelance, you have to tell the tax office about it. We can tell. Well, I don't know who has asked that, but we can tell him, or we can tell her about what to do, and you will declare your taxes and everything. But you're a freelance.
Okay. So I do have a question. How do you go about working without an US passport? Is remote work a possibility, paying all due taxes?
Well, I know it's in fashion remoting, especially because of the pandemic, and this is not a problem in the Basque Country. Yes.
Excuse me. He made a mistake. How do you go about working without an EU passport, not USA passport? I was fine.
So what I understand is that you are from, for example, from Japan, right? From Japan, you want to, and you are working for a Chinese, well, for a Argentinian company, and you are living in the Basque Country. Wow. Remember, if you are from a third country and you want to reside in the Basque Country, or in Spain, yeah, I mean, remember, you need an authorization, even for residing. And of course, in Bizkaia, if you are residing, you are living in Bizkaia, you have to declare your taxes in Bizkaia. Okay, if not, you have to tell, and it's not so easy because it's compulsory. If you work longer than 183 days in the natural year, I mean, for example, 2021, in 2022, you have to declare your taxes. Okay, but that's why that's another topic, and another issue that today it's just to tell you about the general issues, but there are solutions, but it's not so easy. And it's not a question of Spain or the Basque Country. It's in general in Europe, because it's the policies.
Here, a question related to languages. What is the official level of language expected in both Basque and English? I think this person means maybe Spanish, in both Basque and Spanish.
Well, it depends the sector. I mean, for example, if we are talking about work environment, it depends on the sector or the field you are working. For example, if there are some startups or research centers, normally English is very common. But it is true that in your social life, even if, I mean, Spanish and Basque are important, and it is true that everybody speaks Spanish, at least Spanish. I mean,
Sure. Okay, great. So here we have, after living in the UK, I am also concerned about the work-life balance as we finish work here around 5-6 p.m. Would that be the same in the Basque Country?
depends on the company. Depends on the company, depends on the job. Some companies work from 8 to 3. Others, I think that in general, it is true. I'm not going to tell lies. I mean, it is true that some people they have like it is true that the shift, like for example, long hour, the lunch break was very long, but more and more the different companies are becoming more flexible in that sense, and normally you have 30 minutes for lunch, so and you have flexibility in entering, in starting and finishing. At least the companies that we collaborate with, like research centers, technology centers, some startups, they are in general very they are becoming more flexible in that sense.
Great. So how long can I stay in the Basque Country if I am EU citizen without job there yet?
From the United States, US?
No, EU citizen.
European citizen.
Yeah.
No, if you are European, you can live. If you have money, you can live forever. No problem
like,
at all.
Right?
Sorry, Mireia, I understood from the United States, because there are some countries that you can stay for 3 months. The only thing is, and that's important, is that if you are from a European Union, you need an identity number. You have to go to the police and you have to register that. That's important as well. For those Europeans, it's important as well. You don't need an authorization for working, but even if you are not working, you have to register. If you are longer than 3 months in the Spanish state, the compulsory, you must register in the police. Another thing is the health insurance, blah blah blah. If you are not paying your taxes here, you are not paying your social security, blah blah blah, you are supposed to have your own a private insurance, or because even if you're paying your taxes in a, well, it's tricky, because if you're, well, for example, if you are working for another country, imagine for Germany, for a German company, and you're living in Bilbao, the Germans can, the Social Security of Germany can give you a paper that if you go to the doctor in Bilbao, you can use it. But you cannot do it longer than 5 years, I think. That's something that in April, the experts from the Social Security will talk about.
Okay, great. Here is someone worried about the tax and healthcare situation. Here the situation. My husband is moving to the Basque Country with me in 3 months' time. He is going to keep working for a UK employer while living in the Basque Country. We are worried about his tax and healthcare situation. What can we tell?
Well, it was what I was telling you, but now, because the UK is not Europe anymore, well, he can, well, I don't know if they are British or not. We have to know about that as well. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter wherever they are. If that person is working for a British company, okay, okay, they can work, I mean, they can live in Spain and blah, blah, blah. That person, even working for a British company, has to declare that his taxes in the Basque Country, and about and the social security, the systems have to talk. If not, that person is supposed to have a private insurance. But it's what I was telling you. I mean, the UK, the Brexit. I suppose that they will keep it. I cannot assure you about that right now. I mean, but write to me, whoever you are, write to us. I mean, and we will answer you.
Of course. Here another question. I'm from Bilbao, living in the US. If I return to the Basque Country to live work, can my husband, who is Australian, get a resident permit immediately?
Okay, that's it. That's a good question. Okay, for any European, not even Basque or whatever, for any European citizen who is coming to Bilbao and their partner is from a third country, like in this case from Australia, as soon as they come, if they are, but they are supposed to be, you are supposed to be married, officially married, or an official partner, not boyfriend and girlfriend. In that case, you have to ask for a special card, what we call card of a European citizen relative or family. It means that in 3 months, you can get that permission, and if you don't divorce, you have the same rights as any European citizen. And now, because of the pandemic, it's like terrible. Before the pandemic, it was easier because an Australian or a person from Mexico or United States can come as a tourist for 3 months, and they have enough time to solve that, because you have to do it in the foreigner office, in this case in Bilbao, if you're coming to Bilbao. We can send information.
Yeah, sorry, Carmen. Here is someone who wants to know if I would like to meet with you. I would like to meet with you either virtually or physically. Would it be possible? How can I contact you?
So my email or Mireya's email. If not, we have, I mean, it's in our names at, I mean, it's Carmen.Méndez at bizkaiatatalent.eus. Well, Mireya can.
Here I'm sharing with you the Carmen's email address, but you can write either to Carmen or to me, and you can contact us through LinkedIn. We have our contact there. So here more question. Is living with the Bizkaia a requirement for the offers from Bizkaia Talent, or is it possible to work for companies in Bizkaia Talent network while living in Gipuzkoa or Araba? How does it work, Carmen?
I mean, the service, you mean, if you're living, depending when you are living, if you're working for a company in Gipuzkoa or Álava and you are in Bilbao, no problem, you can receive the services. It is true that for social activities and dual career and everything, it's more if you're living in Bizkaia, because it is like that. I mean, we support companies and we advise companies and we try to do the best, but it's not the same. I mean, it's for the technology of Bizkaia.
Here we have a question related to kids. We've seen that most of you're not very worried about the schooling and this kind of issues today. But here a question: if I have children, how long in advance should I prepare to move to the Basque Country? How long is it to find a school for children, Carmen?
Well, that's the education system. Okay, if I mean, imagine that you move to the Basque Country in 1 week. and the academic year has already started in September. It doesn't matter if it's a movement, because there is an enrollment process in January, but you are supposed to be living here. You are supposed to be enrolled in already here. So in those cases, nothing happens. I mean, well, nothing happens. We have to see where there are free places, because not all schools, be careful with that, because sometimes they say, no, when you're moving from another region or country, there is always a place for my children. No, because the law says that not more than 25 kids in a class. So if there are 25, perhaps because you are moving out of the period, the kid can be accepted 26, okay, but not longer. So be careful with that. Then normally what we do is to talk to the education department, and they tell us, depending on the area you are going to live and the characteristics of the schools, we talk about that, and we inform you about the possibilities you have. But it's not a question of advanced, because you are compulsory, you are supposed to be registered in the city council where you are going to live. But normally we talk to the Basque government and the schools earlier.
Great. Here a question quite interesting in these times that we are working remotely. If I work at a company in Spain but remotely, and I'm living in another country, can I get resident card?
If you're working for a Spanish company but you are living in another country,
yeah,
the Spanish residence. No, if you are not living in it means we have cases like that. It depends. It's because I don't know if that person, I suppose that is from a third country. Compulsory when they, and this is something that I talked to the ministry last week. The Ministry of Immigration, the inclusion one. They told us that if you have an authorization, is because you are supposed to work and do your job in the company that they say. Anyway, at least you have to come to ask for your card. Then, and sometimes you have to come from time to time. It's possible, but be careful with those. I don't like generalizing because Mireia and I look at the cases very ad hoc. I mean, very personally.
Someone is so I heard from a business partner from Bilbao that PBT could be in some specific cases co-finance and PhD, but maybe I did not understand so well his Spanish. So I heard from a business partner from Bilbao that BBT could in some specific cases co-finance a PhD. So I think
well,
they are
perhaps yes, perhaps it's because there are some co-fund programs from the European Commission. I suppose that is that. That, for example, I don't know if you are referring Marie Curie. I mean, I'm not talking about academia. I mean, also in industry, there are some programs for PhDs, for researchers, for researchers, even for predocts, that they can have some co-fund programs. I suppose that the person who has asked that question is referring to that. I mean, there are different aid programs. I mean, we're talking about money. I mean, funding. There are, but like we have for entrepreneurs. But we have to see the case.
That's the point. Well, when we have to analyze one by one, as for some of you, I already answer you through the chat, telling you, okay, you can check this document. Some of you are asking about the tax break questions concerning which kind of profile do you need to have, which are the requirements basically to get these advantages. And as I was telling you, you can find all this information in Bizkaia Talent platform. Let us know, please, if you cannot find it. We already, we also worked on a FAQ document. There you can find a lot of information, and you also have the contact of tax office. So if you want to check just something in a personal, not personal level, but you want to check your situation. So there are some other questions concerning the job offers. Where can I find the job offers? You can go to the Bizkaia Talent website, bizkaiatalent.eus, and there you can see all the job offers. You can also follow us in LinkedIn because we post the job offers over there also. So there's a lot of information that you can find. Also, Carmen say about the declaration of taxes. We get the information. We put the information in the platform, so you can get it. We had some questions that maybe they didn't get the answer, or the answer that we provided maybe doesn't answer the question that you are sending to us. I invite you to all of you to contact us through email, or so Carmen or me, it doesn't matter, or through LinkedIn. We're gonna help you. That's the aim of Relocation service. So I wanted to thank you, Carmen, for
thank you to you, and thank you to the audience.
Yeah,
you're listening to us at 8.
Yeah,
5
already 80. Yeah, these questions are quite tricky because we have to keep in mind a lot of factors, and that is why I want to thank you, Carmen, for providing all these answers. So just one thing, I wanted to remember you that you can get the link on the chat, or you can go to Bizkaia Talent website to create your profile. You can see some digital tools. You can get, you can apply for job offer, as Carmen explained. And also remember, now maybe you're thinking about Easter holidays, but after that, we're gonna organize the Social Security webinar. Don't worry, because we're gonna send you the invitation. And with it, that's all for today. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you for the attendees.
Keep safe, all of you.
Yeah.
And healthy. Thank you. Thank you for listening to us.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye, Agur.